By the early 1850s, money flowing from California during the gold rush was on the move. To towns and cities back east, to Europe, to China. Gold helps kickstart the economy of the entire world. But those leaving the Golden State put themselves in a new kind of peril. On December 1st, 1853, the steamship Winfield Scott leaves San Francisco for Panama, carrying 450 passengers and gold, today worth over $30 million.
It was a normal journey, one that steamships had done many, many times before.
The Winfield Scott is an ocean-going steamer whose builders declare no expense has been spared to achieve strength, safety, and speed. She even has first-class cabins for those who struck it rich.
These ships are amazing. You know, they were built stauntly with white live oak. They had 4 decks. The machinery on these were just state-of-the-art.
She has sailed this route 8 times before, but this time, she never reaches Panama. The research vessel Shearwater is heading towards the Channel Islands, a few miles off the coast of Southern California. She's carrying a team of archaeologists, plus experts from NOAA. They want to learn more about the final fateful voyage of the Winfield Scott. The Channel Islands are home to a protected national marine sanctuary. But Dee Dee Marks, an archaeologist with Search Incorporated, and her colleague, NOAA official Bob Schwemmer, regularly dive the wreck.
You never know what you're going to encounter. The wind and the waves and the seasons uncover things and recover things, so you might find new features of the hull you hadn't found before, as well as new artifacts.
In these waters, the sands continually shift. So every expedition is a new adventure. These remains of the Winfield Scott lie in shallow water. Her wooden hull has rotted away, her metal parts covered with decades of marine growth. To see her in detail and understand what happened here, we can combine 3D scanning data with visualization software and pull the plug on the Pacific Ocean. Slowly, the remains of the Winfield Scott appear. Hidden from view, since she set out laden with the gold of California. 2 paddle wheels lie exposed, and a handful of metal parts. But the most significant thing about the wreck isn't what it is, but where it is. The drained landscape of the Channel Islands reveals the Winfield Scott is not alone. Scattered across the seabed lie dozens of other shipwrecks. These waters are clearly dangerous. So why was she here? In the mid-19th century, most ships give the Channel Islands a wide berth, sailing past them and onto Central America. But in local archives, researchers discover evidence that the Winfield Scott decides to take a calculated risk.
We're very fortunate with the diaries from some of the passengers that were on board the Winfield Scott.
The captain, Simon Blunt, has studied the area for the U.S. Coastal Survey a few years before. And he's sure he knows a safe route directly through the islands.
Captain Simon Blunt felt pretty confident about coming through the Santa Barbara Channel because it cut 100 miles off his course. And of course, getting to Panama first, or Panama to San Francisco, you got bragging rights.
It's not just bragging rights. It's cold, hard cash. Competition is fierce between rival shipping lines, all vying for a slice of the action on this most lucrative run.
The Winfield Scott's owners were very keen on getting there quicker. That means they could turn around and make a return trip, hence more money in their pockets.
On the night of December 1st, 1853, the islands are shrouded in dense fog. But Captain Blunt isn't worried.
He was actually asked in the wheelhouse about, do you want to slow down? It's kind of getting, foggy and a bit dirty out there. And he's like, no, let her rip. Of course he did. 11 knots right into California real estate.
The ship smashes into the rocky coastline of Anacapa Island.